You hit send on a photo. 1 second later, it's on someone's screen, halfway across the world. But how does that actually happen? When you send an image over the internet, does it travel as one whole file? Not quite. Before your photo goes anywhere, it gets broken up into small chunks called data packets. What if we just send all the data as one giant block? The answer is simple. We can't. Imagine sending a file across the internet as one unbroken mass. The router sees it, pauses. Nothing else can pass until that block clears. Other users wait. Other apps queue up. The entire line is held hostage by a single transfer. And if something goes wrong midway, a connection drops for just a moment, you start over. You resend all of it. That's exactly why the internet breaks data into packets. Each packet is small. Each one picks its own path. Routers don't process them one by one. Multiple packets flow through different routes at the same time. The network breathes. Other users move freely. And if one packet gets lost, which happens, it's completely normal, only that packet gets resent. The rest of the file is already there, waiting. One missing piece gets filled in, done in seconds. That difference is why the internet is fast, reliable, and shared by billions of people at once. Every packet has 3 parts. The header, this is the label on the box. It contains the source IP address, the destination IP address, port numbers, and the sequence number, so the receiver knows how to reassemble everything in the right order. The payload, this is the actual data, a fragment of your image, your video, your message. The content itself, the trailer, this is the quality check. It carries error detection data, so the receiving end can confirm, did this packet arrive intact? Let's walk through a real scenario. You're on your laptop. Your private IP is 192.168.1.5. You click play on a video hosted on a server at 203.0.113.42. Your laptop creates a request packet. It says, I'm at 192.168.1.5 port 443. Send me that video. The packet's first stop is your default gateway, your router, sitting at 192.168.1.1 on your local network. Your router has 2 sides. On the inside, it speaks to your local devices using private addresses like 192.168.1.1. On the outside, it faces the internet with a single public IP, let's say 87.240.10.33. Private addresses like 192.168.1.5 mean nothing to the internet. So when your packet passes through, the router replaces your laptop's private source IP with its own public IP. It keeps a record of this swap internally. This is called NAT, Network Address Translation. From this point, the internet only sees 87.240.10.33. Your laptop is invisible to the outside world. The packet doesn't travel in a straight line. It hops through a series of routers across the internet, each one reading the destination IP and deciding the fastest next stop. This is called routing, and it happens in milliseconds. The packet reaches the video server at 203.0.113.42. The server reads the request, breaks the video into hundreds of packets, and sends them all back, each one addressed to your router's public IP 87.240.10.33. The packets arrive at your router. It checks its NAT table, sees that a session from 192.168.1.5 is waiting for this response, and translates the destination back to your laptop's private IP. Now it knows which device to deliver to, but knowing the IP isn't enough. To hand off data on a local network, it needs something more specific, a MAC address, the unique hardware ID built into your laptop's network card. The router doesn't have it yet, so it broadcasts a question to every device on the local network. Whoever has IP 192.168.1.5, what's your MAC address? This is called an ARP request. Your laptop recognizes its own IP and replies with its MAC address. The router saves that mapping, wraps the packets in Ethernet frames addressed directly to your laptop, and delivers them to you. Your device receives all the packets, checks the sequence numbers, puts them in order, and video plays.